Well, here we are again, laying down on the couch.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Like, this is how I feel every time I have a 2-week winning streak.
It'll work. Watch your head.
He's gonna hit his head.
Watch your head.
So we're at the midway point of the season. I'm calling this a make or break week. Laying down in the intro has worked before. Roll the intro. Hey everyone, and thanks for joining me here for another edition of Uncle Dan's Best Bets here on the Buffalo Plus YouTube channel located inside the beautiful Connors and Ferris podcast studio. Appreciate you joining me as always. Special shout out to you and all the subscribers in our little Uncle Dan's community. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Really appreciate it as always, and appreciate everybody that came out to the Pittsford pub yesterday for a great meet and greet and live podcast. Those are always awesome. Also, this is where we also thank our sponsor, Bob Johnson Auto Group. They're the best. Buying, selling, trading, leasing, whatever you're looking to do for a car, be sure to go to Bob Johnson Auto Group. I always say it, but it's worth repeating. Seriously, they have been a proud sponsor of Uncle Dan for quite some time and really appreciate it. Renee and I work with Daryl out in Leroy. Go to Bob Johnson Auto Group. Tell them that Uncle Dan sent you. Really appreciate it. So, last week was not fun. Not fun at all. So we bounce back, right? Like, there's no use crying over spilt milk. Lamar didn't run. Lions didn't show up. They got injury issues. We mistimed the Tomlin game for the Colts. What else went wrong? Pleasantly surprised about the Bills. They played their best game in probably 3 years. So, always gamble responsibly. I want that on the record. But with that being said, we're biggest card so far of the season. Writing on the front, I even got notes on the back because I couldn't fit it all in the front. I'm recording this on Friday because I wanted to take an extra day to kind of look at some numbers, kind of see what was going on with some injury reports. I actually really wanted to take one extra day to kind of get this done. So, last week, 2-5. We keep getting these 2-week winning streaks, and I try not to jinx it, and I think I jinxed it anyway. So, 30-36 on the season. I am calling this, like I said in the open, the most important week of the year. This is the turning point. No use crying over what happened last week, and I got a lot of picks. So, no more frilly talk. Let's just get right into the picks. And I like the Germany game to start. I like the Colts -6.5. I don't think that they're all of a sudden a bad team. I think the addition of Sauce Gardner gives that locker room a boost that their ownership believes in them and that they're going kind of all in. I like that. I don't think Daniel Jones has turned into a pumpkin just yet. I just don't think they're going to turn the ball over 6 times again. Like, I believe in Shane Steichen and what he's doing with this offense. And look, if this is a game you might want to tease and get in a 6-point teaser with another game, I can see that. Tease it with the Bills. That would be another one of my leans, but I really do think that the Colts are a good team, and I think they bounce back. I think that's one where you bury the football, burn the tape, and move on. Falcons, I think they're going to be desperate, but I also think the Colts are going to be desperate too, knowing that there are teams. Jacksonville is still kind of nipping at their heels in the division. So this is a spot where I'm going with the team that I still believe will bounce back. Like, I don't think their offense all of a sudden suddenly stinks. I think the Falcons have their own problems. No DeForest Buckner worries me a little bit against the run here for the Colts, but I really do think that Daniel Jones and this offense gets back on track. So I will lay the Colts and the 6.5 points. I also like the Ravens. I think the Ravens are back. I think they're back. I think Derrick Henry, you have seen, is a completely different running back when you have Lamar there. And the Lions didn't show up off the bye. We'll get to them in a second. But I'm not sold that J.J. McCarthy is the guy yet. Okay? Lions have their injury issues, but Ravens defense has been playing a whole lot better with Roquan Smith back. I like what they're doing, getting extra rest, and Lamar is 24-3 straight up against the NFC. And the big thing here is Brian Flores was able to blitz and impact the Lions offensive line that is kind of injured. Lamar is, since the start of last season, is the number one quarterback EPA versus the blitz. I like all of that. I really do think that if you would have told me at the start of the season you could get the Lions or you could get the Ravens in week 10 going to Minnesota and you only have to lay 3.5 points, I think I'd take it. I think this is a desperate Ravens team to pick up wins. I like the Ravens minus 3.5. There were so many plays that I kind of left off, but I wanted this to be a big, juicy card. So here's a wild one for you. How about Jacksonville's team total under 19.5 points at Houston? Houston does not have CJ Stroud in this game, but we don't know what Brian Thomas' status is. Travis Hunter is out for a little bit. I know they added a wide receiver, but Jacksonville just played a full overtime game. I think they may be a little bit spent, and Houston's defense at home is really good. Houston's defense in general may be the best defense in the NFL, but I think they're even better at home. They've played 3 games or 4 games, and they've only allowed 20 points once. Like, I really like this defense. I think they rally knowing that their starting quarterback is out. I'll take the under in the Jacksonville Jaguars team total 19.5. I think it's a big step up from the Raiders defense to this Texans defense going to a hostile environment. I like Houston's defense here, so I'll take the Jacksonville Jaguars team total under 19.5. I told you, we're going for it. Make or break week here. Okay. Other plays. How about an over for you? Giants Bears over 46.5. The Giants have allowed at least 33 points in each of their last 3 games. Chicago's defense, bad. No pass rush. They have no corners in their secondary. I think that both offenses will be able to move the ball. Chicago's allowed 30 points and 42 points in their last 2 games. Bears offense is pretty good at home. I think there's a ton of points in this game because there's no defense. Bears are running the ball really well. I like the over. I think this game gets played, finishes somewhere in the 50s. So I really like this play. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4. We're not even halfway through the card. You want a stinky one? You want a smelly one? How about the Cardinals +7 versus the Seahawks? Seahawks actually aren't as good at home as they are on the road. And I think this is a complete spot where everybody is on Seattle. They just saw them and what they did on Sunday night. And this is so great. And I think Seattle's really good, but this is just too many points. The Cardinals defense is really good and nobody's talking about them. I really do think this Cardinals team, we just saw what they did against a really good Dallas offense, and they're better with Jacoby Brissett instead of Kyler Murray. So I think this team is rallying a little bit. 6.5 or 7 points is just too many points in this game. Divisional game. I'll take the dog and give me 7 points for Jacoby Brissett and the Cardinals to keep it close. You just got to keep it close. For one that everybody's on that I'm against, that's one of those we're zigging when everybody's zagging. We'll zig with everybody. We will zig with everybody here. I was wrong last week. I'm putting my foot down. Lions -8.5 at the Cardinals or at the Commanders. Commanders now are banged up, demoralized. They have nobody. Pass rush, offensive line, wide receivers. I understand that Dan Quinn will probably find some way to rally the guys, but look, Jared Goff and Dan Campbell are 21-8 against the spread off a loss. They've won and covered their last 12 games off a loss. You add in the revenge factor. You add in that Dan Campbell said that he didn't have his team ready off a bye. Surprise, surprise, the number I didn't look at. Dan Campbell's historically not great off a bye. Should have looked at that. I know they've got injuries on their offensive line, but this just seems like a game where Dan Campbell steps on the throat of the Commanders, gets the revenge from the playoff loss. I think they're fired up. I expect this to be the get right game that the Bills had a few weeks ago against Carolina, where they won 40-9. That's kind of what I'm thinking about for the Lions to get right in this spot. So we're going against the public with the Cardinals. I'm sure everybody's on the Lions for how bad the Commanders have lost the last 3 games by at least 21 points. I think the Lions get right in this game. I think they win by double digits. I will lay the 8.5. How many were we at there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How about the Bucks minus 2.5 at home against the Patriots? Here's the stat. We got to flip the card over. Try and read this. Since 2003, here's your stat of the day. Teams on a 6-game or more winning streak who are the underdog, which is what the Patriots are 27, 42, and 1 against the spread. Vegas doesn't hand out free money. Everybody's saying how good the Patriots are. Oh, you're going to give me the Patriots and the points? I'll take it. Nah. Bucks coming off a bye, getting a little bit healthier. They're getting some of their offensive line back. I think the Bucks get right at home. I think they beat the Patriots. I will take the Bucks and lay the 2.5 points. That was play 7. And I got 2 plays in the Bills game. The 9.5 is a little much for me. The Dolphins, or as Mike called them, the mess in Miami that are known as the Dolphins, I don't know what to make of them. They are now a bad team that knows they're a bad team. They've traded off players. I don't know what to expect there, but what I expect is that they can't cover tight ends. So earlier this week, I think on Wednesday, I locked in Dalton Kincaid's over at 40.5 receiving yards. That's already up to 43. He's gone over 100 in 2 out of his last 3 games. He's covered this in 4 out of the 8 games this year. The Bills' offense now is pretty much run the ball and throw it to their tight ends and a couple of bubble screens to Shakir. So I'll take Kincaid over 40.5. I know it's probably 43-ish, 44-ish now whenever you're watching this. And I will also take Dawson Knox over 10.5 receiving yards. He's hit that in, I think, his last 4 games, and he's done it on like 1 catch. The Bills are running a ton of heavy jumbo personnel, a lot of tight ends, a lot of fullback. But Josh is just throwing to the tight ends. That's who he trusts. So those are the 2 plays I have in the Bills game. Kincaid's over receiving yards and Knox's over receiving yards. It's 10.5. So there it is. A Niner. Colts minus 6.5. Ravens minus 3.5. Jags team total under 19.5. Giants, Bears over 46.5. Cardinals plus the 7. Lions minus the 8.5. Bucks minus the 2.5. Dalton Kincaid over 40.5. Dawson Knox over 10.5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Niner. How about a 7-2 week? How about a 9-0 week? All right, back on track. Be sure to drop in the comments below for your favorite plays of the week. Again, trying to find the Dolphins just don't cover tight ends. So that's just something to keep an eye on. I think they've allowed the 3rd most fantasy points to tight ends so far this season. And I think the Bills are building their offense around James Cook, who's expected to play, but to what extent? So there it is. Niner. Let's win some games. Shout out to everybody that's followed along. Really appreciate it. As always, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Shout out Bob Johnson Auto Group. Best of luck to your bets this weekend, especially mine. Need it. Need to get out of this 6-game under 500. Got to get back on track. Appreciate it as always. Best of luck this weekend. We'll catch you here next time on the Buffalo Plus YouTube channel. Let's beat the odds together as I break down the NFL betting lines. Who will cover and who is poised for an upset.
Uncle Dan's Best Bets on Buffalo Plus. New each Saturday on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. Sponsored by the Bob Johnson Auto Group.